3, 2, 1.
Welcome back to Ghost Powered Entertainment. I'm your host, Kanan Becker, and today we talk about 10 horror movies you can watch right now on Tubi. So here's a list of 10 horror movie recommendations that you can watch right now on Tubi that I think would be great for Halloween weekend. Alright, so kicking off the list at number 10 is a really campy movie, a horror movie that is famous for being campy, and is a really great movie to watch while having some drinks with some friends, and that's called Plan 9 from Outer Space. It's Bela Lugosi's last movie, sort of, and if you want to know more about that, you need to look into the history of that. Maybe watch the movie Ed Wood, it talks about it, but either way, this movie is just so ridiculous, so campy, so bad that it's good, and it's really just a fun little horror sci-fi movie that I think you'd have a blast watching with your friends. Alright, now we go to number 9, and my pick is The Houses That October Built. The Houses October Built is a really cool movie that is basically about haunted houses going wrong. It's basically a movie about this group of friends who decide they want to try to take it to the extreme with haunted houses. They want to go try to track down these haunted houses that are so crazy, so over the top, just the extreme of the extreme. The ones where they take you near death, basically. And so they go on this crazy journey trying to find the scariest, most fucked up haunted houses they can find. And it gets really intense, and it gets really crazy, and it's just really a cool movie. Next up at number 8 deals with some of the same stuff as The Houses October Built, but this is actually a documentary, and it's about people that put on crazy haunted houses. It's called Haunters, and it's about people that basically take haunted houses to the extreme, that make haunted houses their life. Not just the crazy extreme ones, but just people that put on haunted houses in general and just really make it a huge part of their life where they put everything into it. And it's just really cool to see all the amazing decorations, all the crazy different haunted houses, and hear some of the history and stories of how haunted houses became what they are today. Now we go to number 7. And number 7 is a movie called The Void. This is one of my favorite movies that I've discovered this year. And it's very Lovecraftian, just this crazy, beyond like insane horror movie about basically like aliens. I kind of think The Blob, but really, really intense. Much more body horror, much more terrifying than The Blob. But almost like if The Blob was made now, where it's a lot more intense and a lot more scary. But this just has amazing visuals, super intense, just crazy, low budget, but really done well. But just a really scary, really cool body horror, creature feature, space monster creature kind of thing. I don't want to say too much because I don't want to give anything away, but I'm telling you, this is a badass movie. And if you haven't seen it, definitely check this out. Number 6, we go to a movie called Stir of Echoes. And this stars Kevin Bacon. And it's just a really cool supernatural psychological horror movie. I don't want to really give too much away, but it's very mysterious and just very twisted with some really amazing acting and just really solid imagery. Just a really fun movie that if you haven't seen, I think you really enjoy this one. Next we go back to documentaries, and it's called 50 of the Best Horror Movies You've Never Seen. And this is just really cool to learn about movies you've maybe never even heard of. I mean, I've seen a lot of movies, but when I watched this list, there was definitely a few that I'd never even heard of, much less seen. It just digs really deep. There's definitely a lot that you have seen, I'm sure, especially if you're big into horror. But there's a lot, I promise you, that you probably have never seen. And it's just really cool to hear some of the history and hear different celebrities talk about them and why they recommend these movies. And it's just a really cool documentary that digs deep into a lot of horror history and just horror movies in general. Number 4, we go back to camp, and this one's called Chopping Mall. And this is just a super campy, super fun teen 80s horror movie. Basically, a group of friends are stuck in a mall with a bunch of crazy robots that lose their minds and just start chopping and killing everybody around. And it's just stupid, fun, silly, 80s good, just fun bullshit. You know what I mean? Like, if you dig 80s campy, fun, teen cheesy horror, I don't think you can find one that is more campy and cheesy and fun than this one. Alright, now we go into number 3, and this is just a really twisted headfuck kind of movie. It's called Society. It's just really twisted, and it has some really amazing practical effects that are just, like, seriously some of the best ever done in this movie. But there's just some really weird, really twisted stuff that goes on in this. Basically, this guy, he's from a really affluent family in this really affluent society, and they're all about keeping up with the Joneses and appearances, and he gets really sick of it and starts to find out that there's some crazy hidden truths and things that they don't want people to know, and that none of the people from this group want people to know about them, and it just becomes really disturbing, really fucked up, really twisted, and really fun. Next up, number 2, this is probably my favorite movie on this list, and it is 30 Days of Night. And these are the most badass vampires. These are some of the most fucked up, most twisted, monstrous vampires you'll ever see. It's just a really cool movie. Basically about this guy who's a sheriff in this small town in Alaska, and vampires basically hit this little town because it's 30 days of straight night, and they just start feeding on this town, and it's all about survival. But it's just really badass, really bloody, just a really, really cool movie. Just a really, really fun, really enjoyable horror movie. Last on the list is called Tales of Halloween. And it's just a really fun, really great, really eerie, creepy Halloween movie that's an anthology. And it just tells these creepy stories of things that happen Halloween night. And it's just perfect if you're looking for something that's all full of Halloween spirit and creepy and dark and scary. I just think it's a great movie for you to watch on Halloween. Alright guys, that's my list. Please hit that subscribe button if you haven't already, and ding that little bell so you know when I post videos like this. But I post videos of some kind at least twice every week. Thank you so much for watching, and please crush that like button. And remember, horror can be fun. I'll see you guys next time.